The darkness she conjured now turns against her, for what was once hidden in shadows is being exposed in light. God has revealed her sickness, and now she pays the price of her own evil with a heart filled with guilt and fear. She once thought her powers could manipulate and destroy you, but the angels have whispered of her downfall. The blood she now vomits is a sign of her own wickedness turning inward, eating away at her soul. This witch in your life thought she could curse you, but her own curses have recoiled upon her. The angels are telling you to stand firm because God has already decreed her defeat. Her spell work has backfired, and the sickness she intended for you is consuming her body. God is warning you to stay protected, for her own darkness is unraveling at a dangerous pace. The blood she vomits is the manifestation of her inner torment. Her wickedness has turned against her, and God is warning you, stay away as her downfall draws near. She attempted to harm you, but what she didn't realize is that God's protection around you is stronger than any spell. Now her wickedness is eating her alive, and the blood she vomits is the consequence of her own hate. God wants you to know that the evil she plotted has turned into her own undoing. The angels say she is vomiting the blood of her own destruction, and her time is running out. Her magic was never powerful enough to break you, but now it's breaking her. She vomits the blood of her own failure, and the angels say her end is near. The blood she vomits is not just a sign of physical illness. It is the reflection of her spiritual decay. The angels have spoken. Her wickedness will destroy her, not you. She tried to bind you with spells, but God's angels shattered her chains. Now she suffers from the consequences of her own dark deeds, and the blood she vomits is proof of her unraveling. This witch's attempts to bring you harm have only brought destruction upon herself. Her own body is rejecting the evil within, and the angels are warning you her power is fading fast. The blood she vomits is the price she's paying for attempting to harm one of God's chosen. The angels say her own darkness is consuming her, and it's only a matter of time before she crumbles completely. She once walked in arrogance, believing her magic could control your fate, but now she faces her own demons, as her body betrays her with blood that reflects the very curses she tried to cast upon you. The witch in your life has been exposed. God is warning you that her own dark power is now poisoning her from the inside, and the blood she vomits is a sign of her inevitable downfall. She thought her spells could twist your destiny, but now it's her own destiny that's been twisted. The angels reveal that the blood she vomits is a result of the very evil she tried to send your way. God's protection surrounds you like a fortress, and the witch who sought to destroy you is now destroying herself. The angels say her suffering is far from over. Her own darkness will be her undoing. Her wicked intentions have backfired. Now she vomits blood as a sign of her internal torment, and the angels are telling you that justice is being served. The angels are telling you that the darkness she summoned is now consuming her, turning her own body against her. God's light has exposed her, and her punishment has begun. She plotted against you, but God had other plans. Now her spells are unraveling, and the blood she vomits is a symptom of her own destruction. The angels are warning you, stay away from her. The witch who once sought to harm you is now vomiting blood, a consequence of her own wickedness that she can no longer control. Her evil has turned against her, and now the very blood she once used in rituals spills from her mouth as a sign of her impending doom. God has warned you, and his justice is swift. God's angels have revealed that her wickedness has backfired. The blood she vomits is the manifestation of the curses she tried to send your way, and now her power is crumbling. She thought her dark rituals would harm you, but God has reversed every curse she sent. Now she suffers from the consequences of her own evil, vomiting the blood of her failed magic. The angels have spoken. Her time is up. The witch who sought to harm you is now paying the price, her body breaking under the weight of her own wickedness. God's warning is clear. Her sickness is not just physical. The blood she vomits is a sign of the spiritual rot that has consumed her soul, and her downfall is inevitable. She tried to curse your life, but now her own life is cursed. The blood she vomits is a sign that the darkness she conjured has consumed her, and the angels are saying her end is near. The angels have whispered that her wickedness has caught up to her. Now, the blood she vomits is a symbol of her internal battle, as her body rejects the evil she tried to control. The curse she intended for you has returned to her tenfold. God's warning is that her sickness will only worsen as her dark power crumbles. The blood she vomits is a sign of her own undoing. God has intervened, and the witch who sought to destroy you is now facing the full force of her own wickedness. Her magic was never meant to prosper. The angels reveal that her own darkness has turned against her, and now she is vomiting the blood of her own evil deeds. She underestimated God's protection over your life. Now she suffers the consequences of her own wickedness, and the angels say her body can no longer bear the weight of her evil. The angels are warning you, she is losing control. The witch who cursed you is now vomiting blood, her own body rebelling against the darkness she tried to wield. Her downfall is inevitable. God's light has exposed her darkness, and the blood she vomits is a sign that her time is running out. The angels have revealed that the blood she vomits is not just physical, it is a sign of her spiritual decay, as her own darkness consumes her from the inside out. God has turned her wickedness against her. The blood she vomits is a symbol of the evil that once threatened you, but now threatens to destroy her completely. She sought to bring you down, but now she's the one crumbling. The angels say her own magic has betrayed her, and the blood she vomits is a sign of her impending demise. The angels are telling you that her power is fading fast. The blood she vomits is a symptom of the darkness that has consumed her, and she will not last much longer. Her wickedness was never meant to last. Now the blood she vomits is proof that her own evil is turning against her, and God is warning you. Her time is up. She thought she could harm you, but now her own body is rebelling against her. The blood she vomits is a reflection of the curses she tried to send your way, now turning back on her. The angels reveal that her time is short. The witch who tried to curse you is now vomiting blood, a consequence of her own dark deeds catching up to her. Her dark power is failing her, and the blood she vomits is a sign that her own wickedness is consuming her from the inside out. God's protection over you has reversed every curse she sent. Now she pays the price for her evil, her body vomiting blood as a sign of her spiritual decay. Her own magic has turned against her, and now the blood she vomits is the manifestation of her own dark power destroying her from within. The angels are telling you that her power is crumbling fast. The blood she vomits is a symbol of her own wickedness consuming her, and her end is near. She thought she could control your fate, but now her own fate is sealed. The blood she vomits is a sign of her own dark power eating her alive. Her wickedness has turned against her, and now the blood she vomits is a symbol of the evil that is consuming her from within. The angels reveal that her time is running out. The witch who sought to harm you is now vomiting blood, a consequence of her own dark deeds turning back on her. Her magic has backfired, and now her body is breaking under the weight of her own wickedness. The blood she vomits is proof of her impending downfall. The angels are warning you, her power is fading fast. The witch who cursed you is now vomiting blood, her own body rejecting the evil she once wielded. The blood she vomits is a reflection of the darkness she harbored in her heart. The angels have spoken. Her own evil is devouring her, and her power over you has been shattered. Her wickedness has finally caught up to her. The blood she vomits is the manifestation of her own corruption, and the angels are saying that her end is drawing near. She plotted in secret, but God has exposed her. The blood she vomits is a sign of her dark power imploding, and the angels are telling you that justice is being served. The angels are warning you that her spells are unraveling. She can no longer control the forces she once called upon, and the blood she vomits is the price of her own destruction. The witch who thought she could manipulate your fate is now being torn apart by her own dark magic. The angels have whispered, her suffering is far from over. Her own darkness has turned against her, and now her body is rejecting the very evil she's tried to send your way. The blood she vomits is a sign of her spiritual collapse. God's warning is clear. Stay away, for her own wickedness is consuming her from within. The angels say the blood she vomits is the result of the curses that have rebounded upon her.